You're live. Welcome, YouTubers. Tonight we will, if anybody would need it, to let us know one way or the other. We have the chat open. Um, but I'm just going to do a quick review in the beginning of the class for those who have never been in class before. And it starts out like this. As we know, there is a chemical that was made by a company in California called Monsanto. They were bought out by Bayer, and they now. In order to enter your conference using the backup number, you will need the conference dial-in number and the access code. Husby, if you would have done that in there or take it off of speaker, I would appreciate it until you get there so that I'm in the middle of the class already. Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude of any kind. Let's see if we can continue. So, everything. Shalom, shalom. Just started the health class. I'll be done in about an hour. Can I call you back?
I might be sleeping. It's almost 8 o'clock here.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Well, I don't know what else to do because I'm on YouTube Live at the moment.
I'll call you tomorrow, okay?
All right, or I'll try calling you back if you're sleeping, so don't pick up or let me know. Or you want me to text you?
Just call me when you're done and I'll see. If I pick up, I'm awake. If not, I'm sleeping.
Oh, okay. Shalom, shalom. Okay. Sorry for all the interruptions. Let's see if we can get some class done here. Okay, so there was a company named Monsanto that made and manufactured something that the farmers and a lot of the people that protect their plants outside their home use what's called Roundup Ready. There's a lot of suspicious things that went on with that. And first and foremost is the fact that Roundup Ready was created supposedly as a pesticide, but it was patented as an antibiotic. And then, little by little, as people began to use it, they found out that it evaporated into the rain, the clouds, the rivers, all over the place. Even it showed up in the milk of milking mothers that have babies into people's bodies. And that is a toxin. So what happens is that as it gets to people's bodies, it's a mineral chelator. It takes minerals out of the body. Now, why is that important? The body needs minerals in order to be able to receive and digest vitamins. And for those who are of older age, hydrochloric acid is another thing the body needs in order to absorb the minerals and then absorb the vitamins. So that is also an important need. What is this stuff going on? Okay, so let us continue on. So now we've learned that there is a mineral chelator in the atmosphere, meaning that there is something that takes minerals out of people's bodies, and so we need to replace them. Now, many people have no idea which are vitamins, which are minerals, what's what, and this and this and this. So tonight, to begin the class, I'm going to read off a list of minerals and vitamins. So, vitamins are separated into two groups. Vitamins can either be what's called fat-soluble vitamins, which means that people have to eat like maybe some butter or fry up some eggs with oil, but it needs some kind of fat in order for the body to absorb them. Those are called fat-soluble vitamins. Now, which are they? Well, there's astaxanthin, which fights macula and free radicals. It's found in salmon, Uh, and so it has a very big health benefit, and that is a fat-soluble vitamin. Another fat-soluble vitamin is beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is most of the time found in carrots, but it aids in the prevention of makala. And those who are Jewish know what I'm saying. I don't say the name of illnesses. And the food sources for the beta carotene is first and foremost carrots, but then green and yellow vegetables, orange fruits, and vegetables. Excellent, excellent source of illness prevention. Next, fat-soluble vitamin is lutein. Now, lutein is very famous, and they even make it in supplements for eyes. It protects against eye disorders, particularly this macular, and I don't want to say it, and whatever. Anyway, um, there's things that a person can do to help protect and preserve their eyesight. Now, the foods that lutein comes in are green fruits, vegetables, especially leafy greens. So we're talking about spinach, lettuce, uh, kale, things on that line. Another fat-soluble vitamin is lycopene. Now, lycopene is famous for tomatoes, but here it says tomatoes cooked in oil or watermelon. Well, watermelon's definitely not cooked, and it may reduce the risk of certain illnesses and keeping the heart healthy and more. Zeaxanthin. It's an antioxidant necessary to maintain and sustain eye health. What foods have zeaxanthin? And this is also fat soluble. Yellow corn, mangoes, oranges, and egg yolks. Interesting. Eggs, for those who don't know, eggs and egg yolks have almost all the vitamins that you can imagine at one time. They're one of the healthiest foods you can eat. With low in fat, you can put mayonnaise in it. You can boil them and slice them. You can fry them. You can make an omelet. There's so many things you can do. You can make a kugel. All eggs are healthy. And as we go on, the last few fat-soluble vitamins are vitamin D, like David, which is critical for bone and tooth health and may help prevent autoimmune things that are going around these days and some maculas. What foods have vitamin D? Cod liver oil, fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy. Vitamin E. Vitamin E is an antioxidant that protects against, we don't want to say that one by name, but it's a very prevalent disease, especially in older people, that makes them kind of lose their grips. We don't want to, God forbid. Okay, and macula and heart issues. So, what has vitamin E? Wheat germ, almonds, and other nuts, cold-pressed vegetable oils all have vitamin E. Now, vitamin K, which is the last of the fat-soluble vitamins, helps with blood clotting, bone formation, and bone repair. What foods have vitamin K? Leafy greens and other green vegetables, green tea, that's an interesting one, and alfalfa. Okay, So we are now leaving the fat-soluble vitamin section, and we're going into water-soluble vitamins. What are water-soluble vitamins? Water-soluble vitamins means that you take them with water only, and that is sufficient for the body's needs to absorb the vitamin. And some of the most famous vitamins are water soluble. Let's go down the list. Vitamin B1, which is called thiamine also, enhances brain function and energy. How important is B1? And it's also called benfotiamine B1. And it comes in brown rice, dairy, egg yolks, legumes, and soy. Vitamin B2, or what's called riboflavin, essential for energy and immune support. Eggs, cheese, fish, poultry, spinach, and yogurt. Vitamin B3, or what's called niacin, aids in healthy circulation of the body and the nerves, and lowers cholesterol. Brewer's yeast, broccoli, carrots, eggs, fish, nuts, and wheat germ all have vitamin B like boy 3. Oh, somebody came in. Let me see who that is. Shlomo. Welcome, Shlomo. Uh, no, I'm married to a wonderful rabbi. Why am I talking to myself? I'm not. I'm recording this, and it will be uploaded onto the channel so that those who need to learn health and could not come into the class now can go back. I also email out the class to over 50 people, so many people get to see the class even if not now. But anyway, tonight is a health class, and I just finished giving off the list of vitamins that are called fat soluble, which means that a person should have some oil or butter or something when they're trying to digest and absorb those vitamins. Now we are going through what's called the water soluble vitamins, which are vitamins that only need water to take with them and the body will absorb them. And I've been naming off the foods that have these vitamins so that a person can eat food instead of having to supplement. And we have to be careful because a lot of the supplements were coming from China, and China's got ulterior motives these days. But let's continue on. Pantothenic acid is B5, fights stress and enhances stamina, and that's in whole wheat, eggs, legumes, and peas, green peas. B6, needed for growth and maintenance, reduces high levels of homocysteine. In bananas, brewer's yeast, brown rice, carrots, chicken, eggs, fish, oatmeal, and whole grain cereals. Folic acid or folate, important in generic, metabolic, and the nervous system health, and reduces risk of some, chas v'shalom, there would be birth defects in women who are pregnant. Okay, you have a question? Go ahead. I hope it's pertaining to health. Okay. Last but not least on the list of water-soluble vitamins is B12. B12 works like a nice cup of espresso coffee to get you up and running. because it gives mega energy. I personally take 5,000 milligrams of B12 every morning, and my husband also. And let's see what it says here. Needed for blood formation and nervous system health. And foods that have B12 are kidneys, liver, uh, fish, eggs, and dairy. Biotin. Biotin is another B vitamin. Promotes healthy nails and hair and skin. It's in brewer's yeast, dairy, fish, meat, and rice bran. Choline, Choline. Not strictly water soluble. It comes in supplement. I was taking that supplement for quite a while. Uh, I'll have to research that, Shlomo, and get back to you on it next Sunday, um, because I don't know offhand, but I can find out. Maybe try using the puffs tissues instead that are much softer. Anyway, let me see what's going on here. Vitamin C is absorbic acid, and I personally take over 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C daily because it is a preventative measure. It's a preventative measure. You're welcome. Um, for any, I call them cooties. What are cooties? Cooties are germs or whatever's going on in the world around us today, and all these illnesses that they made up in order to sell vaccines. And there's some people in a lot of hot water, like Bill Gates and what was the other one? Fauci. And there's a few of them that if you look on YouTube on your cell phone, there are different little things that pop up that you have to read, and it talks about all these people who have that conspiracy of trying to harm people or reduce the population of the world or whatever. What insanity! I'm telling you, people are not normal these days. Well, you know why? Because the only way a person can be normal is to seek God, serve God, and learn truth. Other than that, a person cannot independently on their own do things. Let me see what you wrote here. My friend is David Nissen, and he loves your show. Baruch Hashem. So, whoever wants me to email the classes, all I need is an email address where to send it. I have a ready-made email that has the whole schedule for the live classes for the week. It has a link to the Zoom because my husband's class tomorrow, which is around 5:30 New York time, is not on YouTube, but he's on Zoom and he's on the conference center. So I can send you out the email, which gives you those links and information and the schedule of the classes. What does it say here? Can you give him a shout out? David Neeson, welcome. Glad that you're listening to the class as well. Anyway, let us continue on. We are now going on to a nutrient called boron. Now, boron, like calcium, is good for the bones. It's necessary for bone building. It's a cellular energy and enzyme function. Oh, I don't think I said what choline was for. Choline comes in egg yolks, legumes, meat, and whole grains, which is basically what most people eat. And it helps transmission of nerve impulses, supports brain function, and fat metabolism. Has a lot of good stuff there. Boron is necessary for bone building, cellular energy, and enzyme function. apples, carrots, leafy greens, raw nuts, and whole grains are have boron in them. It also comes in supplement form. A while back, I was taking quite a bit of that, and I praise Hashem for that, because as people get older, their bones need more stuff to keep it going and strong and whatever. Let me see if I could see what it says there. Uh, I did. I have another question for you. Seriously. Uh-huh. Okay. Who is this class for? And I'm the okay at the moment. You're the only one listening live. Let me explain to you something. I make this class because a sister and friend of mine by the name of Miriam, who lives in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, asked me to do it. She knows I know a lot about health. So what gave me the drive to do it? Right now we live in a world where the pharmaceuticals are trying to control everything. And they don't want people to be healthy because they don't make money on healthy people. They want people to be sick. So a lot of the conspiracy behind what's going on is that they're trying to do things, and even the GMOs, and there are various things in the world around us today that are trying to make people sick instead of healthy. Even most of the commercials, even on YouTube and whatever, are talking about illnesses and symptoms of illnesses, because they want to get like the sickness mentality into people. Well, I'm here to present a wellness mentality. And there was a very famous rabbi who said, I believe it was Rambam, and he said, "Let thy food be thy medicine." In fact, he's quoted very often in UCLA and California, because what he said, if you interpret it or translate it, is that God Almighty was able to make a food for everything. Anything that ails a person, there's something to cure it. And therefore, uh, the whole challenge is finding out what food is good for what. And so, being that I've been learning for quite a long time on all this, I come into a class on health once a week on Sunday night in order to help people choose their food not by their appetites, but by what their body needs in order to obtain, sustain, and maintain perfect health. And of course, prayer is necessary, asking God to use the foods a person eats and the learning they're doing about what to eat as what's called a keli in Hebrew, which means, or I'll do this, and then I'll do my best, Hashem will do the rest. That's a good way to put it. So that's why I'm teaching this class, to help whoever wants help in learning how to stay healthy at all times, to feel good, to be good. We are now going into a time very soon where we will all live forever, because when death is removed from this world, I'll tell you when that'll be, in the resurrection of the dead, which will happen on the day of the Lord, according to Zechariah chapter 14. In the middle of the chapter, he says there'll be a day, neither day nor night. It will be the day of the Lord. Well, the day of the Lord is the day of Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Almighty and Holy One of Israel, the creator of this world. And when that day comes, evil will be removed from this world permanently. Death will be removed from this world permanently. And all the people that died and passed on will be coming back in the resurrection of the dead. And I believe that King David will come back in the resurrection, and he will be building the third and final temple. in Jerusalem. But this is not a Torah class, this is a health class. So we're going to get back to health. If you said you had a question, I'm waiting for it to pop up in my face, and I'll see if I can answer it for you. So the next thing we're reading here on the list is calcium. And I've been told by many health experts that calcium is better through milk, food, or whatever instead of supplement. Calcium is essential for strong bones and teeth, healthy gums, and balance with magnesium. So calcium and magnesium should be taken together. Magnesium is a phenomenal, um, it is a mineral, calcium. And we've started, okay, when we started with boron and calcium, we were, what does it say? I have, okay, I answered that one. Okay. Dairy foods and fortified supplements, pea greens, and sardines have calcium. So, boron, calcium, and now we're going to go to chromium, are all minerals. Now, as I said in the beginning of class, that there is a mineral chelator in the atmosphere, and that the body needs minerals to be able to absorb the vitamins of food or supplements. And therefore, um, if you look online to buy a multivitamin these days, you'll see how it says multivitamin and minerals, which it never did before. And the reason for that is the mineral chelator that has been created and needs to be overridden by consuming extra and more minerals. So the next mineral that we're going to talk about is chromium. Chromium picolinate helps glucose metabolism. So people that have been claimed with type 1 or type 2 sugar issues might think about chromium picolinate. It helps glucose metabolism and enhances energy. Brewer's yeast, brown rice, meat, and whole grains. The next mineral is copper. Now, I have two reports that I printed out. One is on magnesium, and the other one is on copper. But I'm going to finish this list, and then we'll go back over those two. Okay. Copper helps to build blood cells, bones, and collagen. So there are two things I know of for sure that the body uses to produce collagen. Now, collagen is an anti-wrinkle substance that the body produces. It produces less as a person gets older, and therefore it's important to take extra vitamin C, to take extra copper, or eat it in foods. Like I said, copper is in meat, nuts, seafood, soybeans, and whole grains. Now, iron. Iron, when I think of iron, I think of raisins. That is where raisins mainly come from. Let me see what's cooking here. Hi, David, and welcome. What do I do about brain fog? Check what you're consuming in the area of sugar. Even some of these sugar substitutes like stevia or whatever have dextrose in them and have additives that can cause that. I find that that's, or a lot of these uh, carbonated drinks carbonated drinks cause that too. Why? Because you look at the label and it says carbonated water and maybe caramel or whatever they put in there, maybe sugar. But then if you continue to read, 90% of them say and natural flavors. Well, the FDA, which Obama really screwed up for us, the FDA now allows natural flavors to be anything they want to put in there, therefore contaminating things. So do yourself an experiment and start working with different bubblies and see what's what. What I'm doing lately mostly is I'll take, I have a green bubbly that is a mineral water or a spring water. It's like Perrier, but I use a different company. And it's a natural spring water and it has minerals naturally in it. But I put in a little lemon juice and some natural non-GMO stevia in there, and I make my own flavors, therefore not consuming these so-called natural flavors that are one of the main causes of brain fog these days. Let me see what's cooking here. Ears, sorry for the mistake. Okay, my dad always tells me that diet drinks are not good. Yeah, but the regular ones are worse than the diet these days because the regular ones are using sugar and sugar is made from GMO beets or who knows what. It's not these days anything that has regular sugar and it's not organic cane sugar is problematic, can also cause the brain fog. Um, that's why it's very imperative that we read labels before we consume things or buy things. Let me see. Is that true? Not anymore. It used to be. Used to be that regular Coke was safer than diet. But in today's world, diet is safer than regular. And it has aspartame. So you have to kind of, I personally think that you're better off flavoring your own stuff um, and making your own. And if you need to take something that's like a soda, like a Coke flavor, there's stuff called. Let me see if I have one here. Yeah, it's called Zevia, and it's a little safer than the general public stuff. It's called Zevia. They're a little more careful as to what they put in there. Uh, but I'm reading labels all the time and making sure. Another company I've been working with lately for sodas is called Nixie, Nixie. And I find that they do not cause that like the others do. I love my. You love your Fauci? Yeah, but he did a lot of things that are not lovable. Uh, if you go through YouTube, but with your cell phone, there are various places where they write reports that you can read because for some reason YouTube doesn't read the stuff. So if it's written and not spoken, they're able to report certain things that you wouldn't find out otherwise. Um, Shlomo says, is it good to sleep with? Well, here's what I do. My husband and I definitely sleep in the same room. And what I do is I put a fan, one of those big box fans, on low. I put it on a table near the bed, and I blow the air out into the living room. If it's cold, if it's warmer, so we can use the air to keep us cool. We live here in Dickinson, North Dakota, so thank God the weather's pretty good most of the time. But I'm always doing something to circulate the air, to keep the air moving. I never leave it stagnant. There's also something else you can do with the air, and I learned this years ago when I used to go to the dentist's office. They used to use this stuff called osium. I've been able to find it in Walmart, and it is you don't like the regular air deodorants, you go shh like for a long time, right? This no. This you go shh, 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 and that's it. And it not only takes any smell out of the air, but it also detoxes it. It takes germs and bacteria and whatever out of the air as well. So if we get some visitors or whatever, it's very good to give a little squirt here and there as well. Or if somebody sneezes in the house, here we obligate all of us to take a tissue or whatever, make sure the face is covered. We don't sneeze where it can go into the air, being that a lot of the stuff that was going on went, it was viral through the air, through sneezing and stuff. And a person didn't have to be sick, but if they sneezed, another person could, God forbid. So I started using the osium way back then as a preventative measure. So if that helps you with what you're asking, carbon dioxide, I have a couple plants in the house as well. They breathe in what I breathe out, and I breathe in what they breathe out. So it works very well. Um, what you do for rashes? Okay. What you can do for rashes is there's a cream made by a company called Triderma. We had bought it originally in Walmart. I think if you look it up online, you'll find it. If you don't find it, let me know. I have their phone number. They make a Triderma that is made with oatmeal and do you remember what it's made? Oatmeal and what? Colloidal silver. Now, colloidal silver.
Colloidal oatmeal. I don't think it has colloidal silver.
It does.
Oatmeal, yeah.
No, it has colloidal silver mixed with oatmeal. Now, colloidal silver is from way back when the ancestors used to put it topically, and some even consumed it in their body, and it healed almost everything and anything. So Triderma, the company Triderma, made a cream for a rash that's made with oatmeal and colloidal silver. My husband had a rash on his hand, and it healed it right away. When we went back to Walmart to buy it, they didn't have it anymore. So we looked online, we found their phone number, and we gave them a call. And they are shipping. Did they ship it already? We got it already?
Yeah.
Yeah? They shipped it right away, and we got it. And so he uses it every so often, even as a preventative. Let me see what it says here. Hi, Peter. Pick a pickle. Okay. Okay. Is it healthy to breathe in your own? I don't see why not, but may not be too pleasant. I don't see any problem with that. Mike says hi. I say hi, Mike. Thank you for coming in. And this class will be recorded on our channel, Yiska Levinson, Yischah Levinson, and it's called let me see, Torah 2022, and then health. And this is class number 30. So if you would like, you can look up online, or if you want to send me your email address, I'll be glad to email you the class when it's done. I send over 50 emails out to people who want me to send them the class. Can you bring, can I? Yeah, he's right here next to me, my husband. But you'll find him online in our channel, like this morning's class on Hasidus. First my husband taught, and then I taught. This Hi, welcome, Desi. And Shlomo says, yeah. Yes, my husband, because we're married. That qualifies within the laws. Anyway, let's get back to learning health because we have already 40 minutes down the road here and we want to finish up. Let's see. So copper, we said, was meat, nuts, seafood, soybeans, and whole grain. Iron, I always think of raisins, but they say that iron is in eggs, fish, liver, meat, leafy greens, and whole grains. Magnesium, super important mineral. And you should know that magnesium, although it's not a sleeping pill, it works phenomenal for people that have trouble to sleep by any reason. If they take magnesium an hour or two before bedtime, it'll help them sleep. I personally drink a glass of milk which has magnesium. My husband likes to eat nuts, and nuts have magnesium. And also dairy, fish, leafy greens, meats, molasses, seafood, seeds, and soybean. So, manganese is needed for fat and protein metabolism, energy production. That avocados, nuts, seeds, sea vegetables, and whole grains. These are all still minerals. Now we have molybdenum, and that activates enzymes and promotes cell function. Legumes, beef liver, cereal grains, dark leafy greens, and green peas. Potassium, another mega mineral, potassium. For people that swell up in their bodies for some reason, the swelling up is usually a sign of a lack, a shortage of potassium in the body. And potassium um, deals with the water and the electrolytes in the body. So potassium is a very important mineral. I personally take 499 milligram tablets of potassium every morning, even though I eat bananas and everything else, because I find it, and as we said, there's a mineral chelator in the atmosphere, and these are the list of minerals that the chelator can be taking out. Okay, if you find this boring, someday I hope you won't need to know about health. Better to do it now and not need it later than to hit the wall and find out you should have done it. But that's up to you. Going on. Really isn't it? No one. Okay, whatever. Anyway, let me continue on. Potassium protects against high blood pressure. It's also electrolyte system, and it's in fruits, dairy, fish, and whole grains. Of course, bananas. Selenium is an anti-cancer antioxidant, works best with vitamin E. So selenium should be taken with vitamin E. They have also proven in today's world that vitamin E is like a natural antibiotic these days. So, and it's also preventative. But you can get selenium in Brazil nuts, rose yeast, brown rice, meat, seafood, and whole grains. Silicon is needed for the formation of collagen for bones and connective tissue. So here's another thing needed for the collagen. Alfalfa, bell peppers, brown rice, root vegetables, and soy. Interesting. So root vegetables are needed to produce collagen as well. Interesting. And one of the root vegetables that people usually eat are potatoes. Uh, vanadium, vanadium, necessary for healthy bones and teeth, improves insulin use. Dill, fish, meat, olives, and some vegetable oils and whole grains. Dill is usually used to make chicken soup. The last one of the list of minerals is zinc. Zinc is important for the immune system and reproductive health. You'll find zinc in eggs, legumes, which are beans and stuff, seafood, and whole grains. And I learned a whole bunch of ways how to make beans and rice and different beans in Puerto Rico. And it's one of the healthiest things you can eat. Your voice. Okay, so come back and tomorrow we'll have a class on the scriptures. Come back then. Today is health. No? Okay. Copper and a person's health. A person may think that copper has something to do with wiring and electronics, but it's also an important mineral that the body takes when it eats some types of seafood, nuts and veggies, fruits and other foods. A person needs it for growth and for overall health. Copper plays a part in many of people's bodily organs and systems. It helps with red blood cells. It keeps nerve cells healthy. It supports the immune system. And that alone should be something everybody wants to keep up with the copper minerals in your body because the immune system needs all the help it can get these days. And form collagen, which is especially excellent for people over 40. A protein that helps make the body's bones and tissue. And collagen is also the elasticity of the skin. The body produces plenty when a person is young, but as they get older, the body produces less unless it is fed extra copper, extra vitamin C, certain things that make the body produce collagen. Going on, absorb iron in the body. So eat some raisins every day and you're good, and it turns sugar into energy. Let me see if there's anything else we need here. Anemia is low blood cell count, and because copper has a role in important tasks, it can help keep certain conditions at bay. Anemia is one of them, and bone issues is another. When a person does not get enough copper, and it's rare to have a serious lack of copper in the body, but some signs of that could be anemia, low body temperatures, broken, God forbid, bones and bone loss, God forbid, uh, low white blood cell counts, God forbid, irregular heartbeat, and pale skin. And I find that potassium, like copper, can affect the heartbeat issue. Okay, sources of copper. Many foods have copper in them. Eating more of them will help a person meet their daily needs. Seafood, organ meats, nuts, and nuts include cashews, almonds, pistachios have the highest level of melatonin, by the way. Pecans, macadamia nuts, and peanuts. Beans, lentils, soybeans, navy beans, red beans, black beans, you name it. Beans and rice are a superfood for copper. Enriched cereals, fruits and veggies, blackstrap molasses, and black pepper. And black pepper, along with turmeric together, are a powerhouse of nutrient for the body. the black pepper makes the turmeric more efficient in the nutrients of the body. If you look it up online, black pepper and turmeric health benefits, you'll be very surprised. Going on. So if a person was a little short, um, there are various signs of shortage. I'm not going to read this list. I don't like to speak or verbalize illnesses. Okay, I got this offline. You can find it there. Okay, when a person gets too much copper, like through supplements, some people can get a little extra copper without knowing, and it can seep into the food from certain types of cookware even. Interesting. Okay. We don't want to go there. Okay, let's see what the last page has to give us. Too much copper in the body can give a person symptoms of, God forbid, nausea, vomiting, God forbid, stomach issues, God forbid, headaches, dizziness, weakness, and we'll leave it there. Serious copper buildup can cause certain symptoms, and we're not going to read the list, but know that balance is important always in all things. And to finish up the class, as we have 10 minutes left, magnesium, as I said, is a very important mineral. Remember, there's a mineral chelator in the atmosphere, so it's very important that we make sure our body gets enough minerals. And magnesium is a mineral that plays a big role in making a body work right. More than 300 chemical reactions inside depend on this mineral. And without it, the muscles, chas v'sholem, God forbid, can't move the way they need to. And nerves also for receiving messages. Magnesium also keeps a person's heart in a perfect rhythm steadily, and blood sugar levels. Now, if a person goes to the doctor gives the medicines for that. All they really needed was more magnesium, and they can even get it from foods. We are going to mention what foods have magnesium in a minute or two. And a person's joint cartilages can be healthy, and it helps the body to make protein, bone, and the DNA. A person's body doesn't make magnesium on its own. The amount a person needs depends on their age and gender. If it's a woman age 19 or older, she would need about 310 milligrams, 350 milligrams if she was pregnant. And if it's an adult male at least 30 years or older, it should be 400 milligrams. And it's always best to get magnesium from food, but a person can also get it from multivitamins and supplements. Food is always better, people, because there's no additives. And since we don't know what they're doing with stuff these days, may God protect us all. Too much, though, can cause nausea, stomach issues, diarrhea, chas v'sholem. In extreme causes, it could affect the heartbeat as well. We're not going to go there. Don't take magnesium supplement if you have certain conditions. You could look that up online. I'm not going to read it. Most people don't have that stuff. Let's see what else is here. Okay. Types of fish that have magnesium is salmon and halibut, Atlantic mackerel and pollock, vegetables and fruits that have magnesium. Prickly pears has a lot of magnesium, but it isn't the easiest food to find and prepare. Almost done, guys. Focus instead on these fruits and vegetables that have a lot of magnesium when you cook them and plenty of other nutrients. Spinach, Swiss chard, edamame, which is soy, tamarind, potato with skin, okra. Whole grain products with magnesium. Look for breakfast cereals fortified with magnesium and these whole grains, bran cereals, wheat germ toasted, and quinoa cooked, of course. Legumes, nuts, and seeds with magnesium. Meat and poultry don't have a lot of magnesium, but you can find it in soy, cheese, and yogurt. These meat alternatives also go good and are good magnesium sources. Black-eyed peas, cooked, of course. Tempeh, soy nuts, cooked beans, black, red, white, lima, navy beans, chickpeas. Eat some hummus, Tofu, almonds, cashews, flaxseed. Flaxseed's good to throw in food. It gets lost in there and it has no taste. No? Or you don't put it in a salad dressing or whatever. And another thing that I highly recommend, go to the supermarket, buy yourself these dried little flakes of parsley that come in a spice container. And every time you're making salad, eggs, or whatever, sprinkle parsley in there. Parsley has no taste, but it's a detoxer. It will take the toxins out of the body from the atmosphere and from whatever. And these days we need to detox our body consistently. Another thing besides parsley is cilantro. It's an excellent detoxer as well. Okay, so we have 2 minutes, 3 minutes left, and that's about it. So let me catch you up on what's going on. We give live classes all week long. Tomorrow we have a live class at New York time 5:30. But as I said, that is not recorded on YouTube or broadcasted on YouTube. And it's my husband's class on beginner's Talmud. And in order to attend that class, you would need to, on the chat, send me your email address. And with that, I will send you an email that has the link to the Zoom and the conference center number and the schedule of the live classes. The rest of the classes from the week, like tomorrow when my husband finishes New York or Baltimore time, I come in at 6:30 or 6:45, and I record all my classes. I don't make any classes that are not recorded on YouTube. So, also, if you send me your email address, I'd be glad to email you a copy of the class when it's done. I do that for over 50 people right now. Anyway, we appreciate that you came in. Hope you enjoyed the class. It's better to stay healthy than need a doctor. It's cheaper as well to stay healthy than to buy medicines and lose days of work and whatever it takes from illness, Oy. So, this is another reason why I give this class. Even if you don't enjoy it and I'm not entertaining you, take a notepad and start taking notes and learn what I have to teach. And you'll be very surprised how healthy you can stay. In the meantime, we'll be back tomorrow, which is Monday. And like I said, my husband's class is 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be in at 6:30. Hope you all can join us. Thank you, Rebbitzin, Zyga Benj, Call me when you have time. Shalom, shalom, Zygazon. Okay, you can take this, husband. And we'll be back tomorrow. Shalom, shalom.